Fucking Max wins the movie birth Olympics because 1984 is when Ghostbusters came out. So how do you peak that?
Oh yeah, you win that one.
Well, what
Let
can I say? I'm born to be a winner, and apparently also to be on this show. Hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast, where Ayn Wye and Keyframe consume.
Welcome
And
to the
do it.
show where I carry the pre-show with my antics while Max desperately tries to be an IT man. Why are you eating a carrot on stream?
Good for the eyesight.
Oh, hello there, little man.
He
Oh,
screams, look.
ah!
Funny enough,
It's like those real Ghostbusters screamer
due to my
toys.
IT issues, I did not come around to do a sound check. So,
Oh, great.
Hope this sounds
But no,
good.
Freaking
yeah.
Max's birth year has a fantastic year for movies because it's the highest grossing ones were Ghostbusters, Beverly Hills Cop, Temple of Doom, Gremlins, Karate Kid, Police Academy,
Jesus.
Footloose. Why was 1984 so many good movies?
Oh, 1984 was like historic year for a lot of really good movies. That's just a fact.
Ah, Jesus, that is really good. I mean, Brett has it very funny. He was born on the day that Roger Rabbit came out.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what it means to be someone on the spectrum who was born the year that Rain Man was the top grossing movie in theaters, but I feel like that's poetic. Anyways, we got a very great guest that we've been meaning to get back on the show for a while now.
True story.
It's Dave!
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Since it has been a hot minute, please do remind ourselves and the audience, who are you, what do you do, and why should people care?
I reside at the bottom of the ocean. They threw a big net into the water, and they caught me again. No, I'm a. My name is Dave. I'm a writer, voice actor, musician, strip horror Halloween person for animation and film stuff and me. I don't know. I do a bunch of different stuff. Most people know me as the co-creator of Farfetched with Ashley Nichols. I wrote the pilot for Hazbin Hotel. I'm a writer for Lackadaisy currently, and I'm also voice Hoonis Boogie for Gooseworks. Just a bunch of different things. I've been doing more voice acting stuff lately, and I've been loving it. And yeah,
That's great. You're a great voice actor.
It's very sweet. I feel like the grandpa of indie animation at this point. I feel very old. At the decrepit age of 30.
I mean, it must be that grandpa feeling must sink in when Michael comes in dressed in as Huggy Wuggy, be like, hello.
Oh,
that picture terrified me.
So I don't know if you've heard my side of that story.
No, what happened?
So my good friend and roommate, Mr. Voice of Indie Animation, Michael Kovac, decided, hey, I'm gonna go while Dave is taking a bit of a nap because he's sick. I'm gonna go to the Spirit Halloween, which any other day I'd be glad to go to Spirit Halloween, but on this particular evening he decided to pick up a terrifying Huggy Wuggy costume.
Let me see if I can find the pictures.
And yeah, so I am at this time. I was sick this day, and I was taking a nap. But I had my door cracked open because I was letting the air in because it's warm in the summer. And all of a sudden, down the stairs, I hear ooh, and I'm like, I'm half conscious, like, what? And then all of a sudden, I just hear, Dave, hello, and I go, hello, and I open my eyes, and I just see that I am angled in this shot, in my bed. This is what I see as I approach consciousness. No, it is not a paralysis demon. It is a spirit Halloween costume with I see that, I just go, oh fuck, and like I just scares the absolute piss out of me. As you can see, our big dog Jack behind the demon did nothing to prevent the attack.
Big dogs are never truly guard dogs.
He
You need to get Chihuahuas for that.
It's funny because his breed is Pyrenees, and he's supposed to be like sit on top of a hill and bark at the sheep, but instead he goes, "Oh, blue demon, okay." Like, so that happened, and then after I realized I was not being, dragged to hell for my sins, and instead was pranked by my roommate. He told me, I'm gonna go wait upstairs now for Adam, Ashley, and our other friend Cole. And I was like, okay. And then about 15 minutes later, I just hear from upstairs as they are scared because he was just sitting in the living room waiting for them. Just like, come around the corner, I'm here. And then he just was in that.
Fucking diabolical.
And this is a character from like a popular,
one of the few franchises I don't think Michael is in.
Not as a popular. There's so many analog horror games now.
Yeah, mascot horrors.
Mascot horror. That honestly, I think that should be the label now, because like when I think of analog horror, I think of stuff like Local 58 or Gemini Home Entertainment. I don't think of like FNAF is cool, but I don't think of FNAF when I think of analog horror. I think of
the mascot horrors like the FNAF, the Bendies, anything that you see like people who make weird Minecraft animations of all these things. Those things.
The Liberty commercial with the emu. Yeah, that's horror.
Yeah. But Jesus, that is such a. I don't think he's a terrifying design when you see him in the game. Bringing him to real life really is just the worst.
You know what it is particularly? It's the teeth, because there's like a row of teeth behind.
Yeah, he's got like the shark like rows in the back. I just hate the eyes because like there's so little whites of them. It's like you just got back from getting your eyes checked full, like, dilated pupils.
Oh, yeah, like the enlargement, yeah. And then also, something about the way I got him in this position looks like he's telling me to pray. like...
I need to message Michael and be like, look, can you do one favor for me? Can you put on the Huggy Wuggy costume and do the, I
had to do it to him. Don't worry, I finished their joke. Can't let that slide.
Thank goodness.
Thank you, Granddad.
He even remembers all the jokes.
But... are the hands stuffed? Can he actually, like...
I don't know. I don't know if they're just enlarged, like, gloves, or they do, like, the Mickey Mouse thing with costumes, where it's, like, they have the big, thick, like, pillow gloves, you know what I'm talking about? So... yeah.
Because I'm looking at it, and I'm just kind of like, this thing could be a lot less scary if he tries to move his hands, and all you can see is just...
yeah.
like wacky inflatable tube man hands.
Oh god. Imagine setting one of those off in someone's room. Like a closed closed space, and just
I think that's a speed run to losing a friend. Especially if you're like in the room of a millennial, so it's filled with knickknacks and paddywhacks and like collections, and then this fucking tube thing's just knocking everything down.
Yep.
I would rather, if I had to wake up in a situation where someone puts a giant inflatable, I want it to be one of those like you put it out on your lawn house, like in like Christmas inflatables. I'd rather wake up to giant Santa. Like,
there's been, like, the last few years, a rise in both Christmas and Halloween inflatables I've noticed on people's lawns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming to the point where it's like these entire neighborhoods are just poppable.
Oh, dude, when I was a kid, hello, I'm still.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're losing her. We're losing her.
Oh God, what happened? Help! Help! I'm fucking at me.
Yep.
No, I'm still audible, right?
Kind of.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
you are
I don't
not
know.
audible.
Then we lose pieces. Oh no.
Well, that is an episode. Well.
Well, off to the Shadow Realm with you.
Basically, yeah. It was nice having you here. So, Dave,
Yes.
Huggy Wuggy, am I right?
Yeah.
Oh. Immediate comeback? Okay.
Hello.
You
So I have a theory of what happened. I'm
Oha.
trying to re-render a thing for work, and I think
that would probably do it,
Media Encoder doesn't like that. So we may just have to deal with that because I can't not re-render this thing for work.
Makes sense.
It's a whole thing it's a supercut of season 2 of Knockout, and I have to re-render it because fucking copyright claim was like, hey, there's this one moment for 10 seconds in the middle of it. We could trim it for you, but it may take like 6 hours.
Oh,
so it's easier to edit it myself. So
did I tell you about? I recently did a stream where and kind of this happened where like my internet went to poop because I was working on I put together a recent commercial for the Lackadaisy plushies where like they were in front of the green screen running through footage and stuff, and I put that whole thing together, but I got a message that I thought was done. Like I had gone ahead and shot all the footage, turned it in. I'm like, aha, my part in this is done. However, I got a message from Fable saying, hey, some of these shots that were shot in 4K are only being can only be used in 720p. And I'm like, that's not right. Uh-oh.
Huh?
And so I have to, it turns out, because I was showing them, after I shot them in 4K, I had posted on Discord to show them what I had shot. And when I was compiling things into our server, I, like a big dumb doo-doo head, downloaded the footage from Discord instead of from my phone. And Discord apparently automatically knocks 4K footage all the way down to 720p.
Wow.
If you want to know how good of a service we're working on here. And so then I had to spend that whole stream basically fighting because I had to just re-download about like 40 shots onto my Google Drive of 4K footage. So my entire time is just like... That's what it looks like coming through my camera.
Oh, that's rough, but that's terrible. But yeah, the thing I was gonna say before Media Encoder was like, hey, no. When I was a kid living in Long Island, me and my aunt, my favorite aunt, would every Christmas we would drive down these streets because I don't know what, but I guess we were living in the fucking Whoville from the Jim Carrey Grinch Stole Christmas, because everyone went fucking hog wild with their decorations. And like, so, it's an event to just drive. And there was one cul-de-sac that was nothing but these giant inflatables. And you know, looking at it, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, this is great. I have my hot chocolate. We're looking at all these inflatables. It's cool Christmas music. As an adult, I just have to wonder, what the fuck were their electricity bills? Because these were for all December, and sometimes they started like right after Thanksgiving. So you're looking at a month and some change, and it's like, those inflatables, to keep them on, there's a reason electricity bills go up during Christmas.
Yeah,
so it's like,
those are, you have to plug them in, and then what it does is the power converts to a fan that's at the base of them. Wow. So you're running a fan all day long outside, essentially.
Now, how bad is it that when you started describing this setup with all the inflatables, my furry ass brain went in a different direction?
You were thinking of like those inflatable meetups? Yeah. Yeah, Max's experience with inflatables is... Do you want to tell the story of the one time where you passed by the inflatable meetup?
I mean, I don't want to necessarily get into king-shaming territory.
It's not king-shaming. It's being an outsider looking in.
I want to imagine this also happened at Christmas time.
With all the Christmas
let's make it Christmas time. So Max is walking in a little Santa hat across Euroferns.
Exactly. Across Euroferns, which definitely happens in December. And
yes.
Well, there is one of the convention rooms back in the day when it was still in the Estrell here in Berlin, is like, has a window wall towards the area where there's also the exit and entry, and I walked out, and so I could look in there and get a little bit of a glimpse of this exclusive event. And I mean, it was not NSFW, but they were dancing with their inflatables, so...
I just want to imagine it's like a high school homecoming,
basically,
and they're just dancing with like a guy with like a dolphin inflate like pool floaty, and I'm just like,
there were a lot of pool floaties, indeed. Yes,
I mean the most accessible thing, you know,
yeah.
But like, I have to imagine there's that one beautiful Venn diagram furry. Let me explain. Like that one who is a furry, who's into inflatables, and is also a Christian. So they're dancing with their pool floaty, but they're making room for Jesus.
It's bad because like when I hear like inflation, the first thing I think of is like that scene in Space Jam where Wayne Knight
when they stick the bike pump in them and just go.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody can stretch a little bit, but yeah, there's funny little there's a little bit of an epilogue on this anecdote. Apparently, I was not the only one who noticed, because the next year it still happened. It's the same evening, it's the same room, but then the windows were covered.
You know what? They should be more prideful. They bring me loads of entertainment.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho. You know, I don't think we need to ask what you've been up to. You've had an eventful life.
But, Key, I feel a need to break a certain rule.
What?
I want to check what you have been up to in the last week.
Oh, okay. I'm... No, now the facade of me being a cool, confident person is gone when you do stuff like this. I get so nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, watch me, suddenly my eye contact with the camera goes completely out of the window.
Let me just...
Okay, I'll just look at Dave. So, yeah, I released the first highly edited video on my channel in like 2 some years for myself, because I've been doing stuff for DA and Saber and Salty and all these things, and so I haven't had time. And then I was like, you know what, I want to get back into stuff, and you know, I sang on a DA song last year and everything, and performed that live at MomoCon, and everyone was really hyped me up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back into it. So I did a cover of "Stayed Gone" from the funny, sung by the funny TV man and the funny radio guy, with my friend Jelly, and also this German guy right here. And it came out yesterday, and everyone's been really fucking nice about it. When I was hosting my radio show on DA yesterday, every donation came with like a "by the way, you did a great job," and I was like, like that kind of like, stop. Ah! I think the moment it all finally hit was my friend Derek Salty sent me a message being like, "You have an absurdly good singing voice," and I was making a sandwich while I was looking over at Discord, and I suddenly just started crying over my sandwich. I was like, eh.
I mean, if you want to add a little bit of salt to it, it really comes
I know,
it's
it's a farm to table, but like, it was great. And my friend Aspen did the artwork, and they did a fantastic job. Like, it was such nice artwork, and it got to be one of those things. I mean, my other favorite part is Max just messaging me when I was sending works in progress, and he's like, "You did this in a day?" I was like, "Yeah."
I mean, the animating, what we are currently still watching.
Yeah, all that was done in less than 24 hours. I made all the things into puppets in Photoshop, like, because they were all singular PNGs, and I just kind of was like, okay, time to dissect a frog and be like, okay, here, make all these stuff in behind the objects and stuff. And I animated it all in After Effects, everyone's favorite Adobe program. That eats GPU like fucking cookies and milk. But yeah, I'm really proud of it.
You should be very proud of yourself. That's very impressive.
Thank you. And Tipsy did a great job as Alistair. She did a great job. I love all the comments being like, Ayn Wye fits Valentino very well, and that's... I don't know if that's a compliment.
I know it. Also, for everybody who doesn't know, I'm officially in the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah. I was making the thumbnail and call after we were done watching X-Men. And I was like, oh, yeah, Max isn't in there. So I put him in very low opacity in the background.
I'm a famous person.
I'm very proud of it, and more stuff is coming out soon.
Ooh, heck yeah!
I'm making a punk rock cover of Terror Time with Mr. Will DA game. It's like a metal pop punk cover because it's Will, so there's gonna be screaming, and I'm excited for that. I got inspired because of the Seismoid cover.
We did that one last because we're working on, because we have 2 original songs and 2 covers out. We're trying to do one last big hurrah before the pilot comes out, which is we're doing a huge cover of my favorite song of all time, which is "Don't Fear the Reaper" by Blue Oyster Cult.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I'm very excited to put that out. So
that's gonna be really cool. But yeah, I'm very happy, and because I was so excited by everyone's response, I actually recorded vocals for another cover last night. Not planned. I was just like, I want to do this, and then I did. But yeah, so how dare you break our rules of the host not talking about what we've been up to?
Well, I don't know. I was surprised myself.
Listen, if you got something to share and something to be proud of, you should.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. But yes, this is a good segue because we were, while I was finishing up the video, we were watching the thing that I want to make my media for this week.
Well then.
So, to the medias.
Yes, to the medias. And now I need to get this up fast and dirty.
Yes, because we finished X-Men 97. And I have thoughts.
Okay.
Thoughts,
yes.
My goodness.
I mean, they're 90% positive because I really enjoyed it. I fucking love X-Men. If Deadpool and Wolverine coming out and this has proven anything, is that God, I missed X-Men. God. I've also been on a binge of the Fox X-Men movie since watching Wolverine and Deadpool. And I'm like, man, maybe I was too hard on. Perhaps I was too harsh on you.
Those movies...
except for X-Men Origins, still not a huge fan of that one.
I still like X-Men 2 a lot.
Oh yeah, that one was. I like that one.
But keep in mind, X-Men Origin Wolverine had to horrifically stumble and fall on its face so that Deadpool could run.
It's true.
So Deadpool could dance with his bones. Yes, we are
Yes.
aware. But no, X-Men '97. I was already
Wait, I'm not
hyped for when
sharing. Fuck!
Good job.
I had the trailer running here the entire
But
time.
no, I was when this was first announced. Like they announced this like back during the pandemic, I think. I was hyped from the very beginning because I love the original X-Men cartoon, and I was like, please be good. Please be good. Because this had the perfect recipe to either revive my childhood or fucking kill it.
Right.
It held the syringe.
Given that it was in Disney's hands, there was a legit reason to be worried.
But yeah, no, the animation's fantastic. Studio Mir seems to be the best studio we got right now for major animation. I think they handled all the characters really well. I'm, thinking about it, my biggest complaint is also something I'm impressed by. They were able to squeeze so many storylines within these 13 episodes.
Wow.
And they had, for their time limit, I think they did as good as they possibly could have. I wish there were more episodes. At the end of the day, that's my biggest complaint with every show that's come out in the past, 3 years. I want more episodes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, funny enough that this ranked among your positives, because for me that would probably be the biggest criticism I had of it, because I agree with the handling of characters, the animation, how they make it at the same time give it the feel of the original show while still making it modern. Using more modern animation techniques, so recreating it at a great rate. But the way how basically a world-shattering character gets introduced, and the next episode they're already gone again, and this thing, which was probably an arc for an entire year in the comic back then, is introduced and concluded within the same episode. If something actually had an impact that lasted all the way into the next episode, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This was my criticism as somebody who was less familiar with it. That, exactly, as you said, more episodes, more time to breathe for everything. That would have been great for the show.
But I think with the time that they had, I think all the things were done well, but I could see them being done better if there was more time. And, that's just, you could say that about most shows right now. But I think they did I really like what they did with Jubilee in this show. I think her entire plot line was really good, given that everyone likes to discount her as the useless one. And I'm like, she's never been used. She has explosives coming out of her hands. How do you make that useless? Fireworks still has the word fire within it.
Right.
And I like everything with her and Sunspot. I think that was a very interesting plot line to go with. Gambit is always great. I really liked Magneto in this show. I liked all the characters, and who they got to return as voice actors did a great job, and the new actors are really good. Ray Chase did great as Cyclops. You could tell Ray Chase is an anime voice actor, and I mean that is the biggest compliment possible, because he is a fucking ham as Cyclops, and it works because it's a 90s show, and I love it. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I think people should watch it. I think a lot of the animated stuff is the things that I think are exceptions to Marvel fatigue, because there's this and there's Moon Girl, and I really hope Neighborhood Spider-Man is also going to count as that, because I'm excited for that one. And I think this is also one of those things where it's even if you have Marvel fatigue, I think you'll really enjoy it. And I think you can enjoy it without knowing too much about the original X-Men cartoon. I feel like you do need to at least look up how the original cartoon ended, so you wonder where's Xavier for 90% of the show. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I just really liked it.
Yeah.
I still need to watch it, but it sounds really good.
It's real. I think you'll really like it in particular, Dave. And that's the other thing I will give it. It's a good period piece because they stay in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah.
And and a lot of like how the characters dress and talk, and I'm not talking about like slang terms. I'm talking like how they view world issues is very indicative of how they would have viewed world issues in the late 90s. And I think that's something that a lot of shows, why they avoid doing period pieces do, because they're like, okay, we also have to make sure these characters are still in the mindset of this time period, and that's a hard thing to write for. But they took the challenge, and I think they succeeded with that. There was actually a moment when we were watching the last few episodes where we were like, oh yeah, it's a 90s show. Of course they're thinking like this.
Right.
So, and that made me very happy because I did not watch the last season of Stranger Things for reasons, but, you know, that was one of the things I appreciated about Stranger Things is that, you know, it was a period piece that liked being in the time period it was in. And I wish we had more shows like that. And this one did it. So that's also a big uppies for it.
Yeah, I would agree.
But yeah, that's mine. Dave, what have you been consuming recently?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I you know what? I'll recommend a YouTube channel that I recently became a patron for, because they're my favorite sketch comedy channel on YouTube right now.
Ooh, okay. I love sketch comedy.
That's these guys. They're called Wizards. They're called Wizards with Guns.
That's a great name.
And they just put out their newest video that was the first one I was a patron for, called POV, You're a Wizard's Orb.
You're a Wizard's Orb? Oh my god.
This whole channel, though, it's three guys who are, like, it feels like old school YouTube sketch comedy with actual jokes. And, like, I've very much been enjoying their stuff. I also will say, if you guys haven't seen a movie called Hundreds of Beavers yet.
Doesn't ring a bell? No.
Oh, I've heard the title. I know Shrek Frillas did a video about how it's like one of the funniest comedies he's seen in a long time.
He is absolutely correct. It is a movie about a man who he owns a apple cider business in the summer, but winter hits and he's all alone trying to become some kind of trapper to survive, and he encounters literally hundreds of beavers, and the whole thing is like the closest thing to a live action slapstick Looney Tunes kind of film, and it's just, trust me, go watch it. It is worth your time. It's an indie film and it deserves all the viewership it can get because it is just downright hilarious.
It's been I've been meaning to watch it. I was gonna watch it after I watched another film that was recommended to me, which was the title's escaping me, but I think it's on what's the streaming service for all the horror movies? It's not Crackle,
Shudder.
Is it? Shudder. I think it's on Shudder. It's essentially it's a movie about this guy who is at a truck stop bathroom, and there's an eldritch god that communicates through the glory hole.
I know it. Yeah, I've seen it.
The one, and J.K. Simmons plays the eldritch being, and he's like, you know, convince me not to destroy the world, guy. I had a lot of fun with that one. I mean, I also got to hear J.K. Simmons say, "You think your human dick was going to stop me from erasing the world?" It's like, I mean, you can't beat, you know, something that provides that into the world. But yeah, I gotta watch Hundreds of Beavers. I keep hearing good things about it.
I promise you will be satisfied. You will enjoy it.
Are the beavers puppets?
They're giant mascot suits.
Oh, that's great.
There
That's
are
great.
some puppets in the movie too, but they're also big.
I know,
mascot
but
suits.
you have hundreds of fucking Buckies essentially just coming at you.
Mm-hmm. They're like the size of Michael's Huggy Wuggy suit, but beavers.
Oh, that's terrifying.
But within the canon of the movie, they are supposed to be actual like wild beavers.
Correct.
That seems reasonable.
That's fantastic.
Are they angry?
But are they angry?
Well, you'll have to see.
Yeah, you'll have to watch. You'll have to watch Hundreds of Beavers. Well, there you go. Max, we've expounded on what we've been consuming. What about you?
What have I been consuming? I have actually, due to the wider spread of the episodes, I had to actually pick. But I settled on another show that I concluded this week, which is the Netflix show by the name of PLUTO, which is, curiously enough, an adaptation of Astro Boy. You wouldn't think it if you wouldn't know it. It's like based on the manga by the dude who is most famous for Monster, and I believe another work he did, which sadly I believe got a very shitty anime adaptation. But yeah, for Monster he is very famous. You will, if you are familiar with Monster, you will definitely recognize the art style, the noses, his very, very non-anime looking noses. It's quite impressive. He likes to have his stories take place in Germany or around Germany. I mean, Monster was... the protagonist was a Japanese dude living in Germany. And here we have at least one of the protagonists, this blonde dude, there he is, by the name of Gesicht, who is German. And a cyborg. No, a robot specifically, not just a cyborg, a robot. And yeah... The funny thing is, as you can probably pick up by the tone and the visuals, this is a very mature show. This is not for kids. I mean, you can somebody who is more familiar with it can probably also correct me and tell me, while original Astro Boy was not necessarily a kids program either. Then again, it was still, I mean, this sounds like something that you could potentially answer, Key. If the original Astro Boy, even within Japan, was aiming for a younger demographic.
I mean,
I would think so.
I mean, not really. Here's the thing. That era when, you know, those types of, like, mangas and cartoons were coming out, cartoons didn't really have a specific audience. That was the main thing, is that, you know, remember, Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, things that you could say could be family or kids media, people went to the theaters to watch those as adults. You know, like, it's one of those things where it was just kind of, general audience does not mean kids, but I would say Astro Boy is general audience.
Yes.
You know?
I guess that's a good way to put it. But it's definitely not as grim and mature in the original. I mean, wait, maybe I can.
I mean, you also have to look at the context of medias that were being made around the time that Astro Boy was originally made. Were always going to have they either veered or were cut or were conjoined in the way of escapism and also processing, because a lot of Japanese animation was on the cusp after World War II. So, you know, having more darker and grim storylines was a very often appearing thing, even if it had a whimsical mask over it.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Here, I found a graphic that, oh boy, that's small. I can zoom in, but yeah, just for the comparison. Same characters in the original Astro Boy story versus the characters in the art, in the design of PLUTO. And it's not just somebody was like Astro Boy inspired. No, it is legitimately an arc that existed basically the same way in Astro Boy, as I understand it. I mean, I haven't read it. But an adaptation, like, first of all, some of the robots, this, like Gesicht, for example, actually some of the aspects in the adaptation is that he is a representative of a so human-looking type of robot that people literally can't tell. Like, I mean, some of them are getting pretty good at it, but yeah, he is legitimately like, if you walk past him in the streets, you wouldn't know that he is a robot, while in the original run, this entire aspect of being accepted into human society and stuff is obviously not even a question. It's like, that dude does not pass as human, sorry. But yeah, what to say about it? It's like very much a drama show, so genre-wise, it's really not cartoony, funny at all. It's starting out mostly following Gesicht in the beginning, so the Astro Boy character actually, I'm not sure if he gets actually introduced within the first episode or only in the second one. So yeah, we are literally following a detective who tries to figure out murders. Like sci-fi murders, because things are going on that are involving robotics, but still there is basically a mystery to be solved, like who is behind those murders. And again, the depiction is like, I don't think it goes too graphical at any point, but it's at least not when it comes to flesh and bones. Robots actually get a very gory treatment, so if you are sensitive to robo-gore, maybe skip that show. It might not.
I mean, it's like the, it's like Samurai Jack. You can do whatever you want to the robots because they're robots.
Exactly. So,
it's not blood, it's oil.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's visually pretty great. So it's like it got the favorable Netflix treatment. It's like it's only, was it 8 or 10 episodes? So it's very short, but the individual episodes are varying and going more around an hour, the 1 hour mark each. And it hits home. Like the first episode, the second episode is mostly following this character by the name of Nord 2, and oh boy, at the end of this episode, you having the feel, the show hits you, so... And
I mean, I'm glad that Astro Boy's getting good adaptations. It was always so hard. Astro Boy had it hard for a while with trying to get stuff for it.
I can see that, but then again, it has, of course, the downside that so many people will probably not even know that this is Astro Boy. Maybe they get it when this little boy, who actually has a flip at the back of his head, just shoots off into the sky and jet streams come out of his feet without any additional explanation. Maybe they will catch on and be like, wait, this imagery looks familiar.
Context clues.
Exactly. But if you don't already know, you might actually not pick up on the fact that, or you might at best think it's Astro Boy inspired, and not come to the realization that it's a literal adaptation of an existing Astro Boy story arc. But yeah, so in general, I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a more maturely themed anime, which is still like... It doesn't go full anime, because again, it is very grounded for a sci-fi, a hard sci-fi show with robot protagonists and stuff like that, and going very, very big in like robo battles, I guess. Still, it's based on Astro Boy. But yeah, hashtag would recommend.
Well, there you go. We've all had some good medias today.
Yeah.
No one had let me rant about this, which is always good. But now it's I guess we have to acknowledge the fan art.
Oh,
and
yes.
then we can get to the questions. Why am I the one who wants to be called good girl? That's not fair. I would be the one yelling if this was real life. I saw people be like, I want a version of this with Ayn Wye and Cosmic, and I'm like, and then everyone's like, who's who? And it's Why did it go in this direction? This is an actual call out. Yeah.
I mean, the other way around would probably be like, no, Max, I will not call you a good boy. This entire episode of the podcast was a technological nightmare.
I mean, that doesn't fit the meme format, but yes, I would say that. I'm not. It's just. I do love it. Thank you, Brogar. And I think Wolfhead commissioned it. I do love it. I love that 90% of the artwork of my persona that's ever been made has been people making memes out of it. So I'm glad that is good. It didn't help that when this image came out, I got like 4 people who DM'd me this one like dynamic picture, and it's a fucking drawing of a person on a leash doing like the battle squat stance, being like, and that person is saying, "Let me buy you something," and the person on the leash is upset, is like annoyed, saying, "Buy something for yourself." And everyone said, "Hey, it's you. Hey, it's you. Hey, it's you." Like, I did not ask for this. I did not consent to this coup. It's like, which also really helped that this came right after I got back from my trip, where Denim was kept like giving me like dagger stares while we were in an anime shop because she kept thinking I was gonna buy shit for her, and I'm like, I'm buying Pokemon cards. Those are for me. Why? The only thing, hey,
and then you got a free run blind bag for everybody. But then you left yours here because you didn't even watch Free Run yet, so it kind of ended up being a gift for everybody but you again.
I got the experience of opening up a blind bag,
and you also got this very nice Spy X Family keychain, which also is still here because.
I kept the Sailor Moon gachapon that I got. Does that count? that counts, right, guys? But yes, thank you for the art, Brogar. Now time for the cues.
Something is wiggling. Oh, those guys. Those are
oh,
also here.
Oh, the little familiars. Well, those were from a local artist, and those were actually intended to be gifts. So, like, I feel no shame towards those. Don't shame me. Why does no one want me to be their sugar mama? Come on now. Who wouldn't want all this financial freedom?
But I already have it.
All right. Here we go. Q's and A's. Did we get any on the Twitter?
We did get some on the Twitter. It's of course, our 2 Iron Defenders of the Twitter Ask domain, and also a new feller by the name of Palm. Makes me wonder if it might be one of your followers, Dave.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. Well, Palm asks, what's your favorite SNL skit?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Ooh, that is a
That's not a good one for the foreign person.
I have seen.
But,
I have seen my handful of clips where I'm now like, what of the handful is the funniest? I mean, the most recent ones that come to mind is what's his name as 2016 Trump.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin as Trump, and the lady as the White House press dude, the original one.
What, Scaramucci?
No, the original one.
There were a lot during the Trump era.
I know, the blonde one in the beginning who was also a meme. Before they replaced him with unfunny people because they realized that if they put memeable people on there, they get memed and get called weird 8 years later. So, what's his name?
I don't know. But yeah, Charlie also points out the digital shorts with Andy Samberg and Lonely Island are also all really good ones. Huh. They were funded by SNL, so.
Well, in this case, let's go with Lonely Island sketches instead, if the songs count.
I
was
mean,
gonna say-
I
Oh no, go ahead.
I would say they're adjacent. No, go ahead, Dave.
I love I'm a big Bill Hader fan, and two of my favorite sketches. One is the one where it's the puppet class that Seth MacFarlane is teaching, and they're trying to figure out their puppets, and Bill Hader's puppet is like this crazed, psychotic Vietnam vet who just basically talks through himself like there were no survivors that day in Grenada, and as with a puppet. And the other one is it's a fake game show called What's That Name, where he has two contestants on to be like, he shows a celebrity like, what's that name? And they say like, oh, so and so, that's correct. All right, now what about this? And then I've been your doorman for 9 years. Every day I see you with a smile. What's my name? What's that name? Norman, the doorman. It's like this whole gimmick about this game show host torturing his guests by being like, what's the name of these people you should know in real life, but you don't? And it's really funny.
That is a good. I'm trying to think of my, because I love the ones that were consistent, like Celebrity Jeopardy and all those ones. I think those are always really good.
Anything with Norm Macdonald for me is a win.
I was gonna say I love him as the newscaster. There's one that I send to some of my friends every Christmas, which is him being like, Kenny Loggins just released a new Christmas album. Happy birthday, Jesus! I hope you like crap. It's like I mean, it would not be as funny if it, and that's the thing, so many SNL sketches you look back on, you're like, these would not be half as funny if they didn't pick the actors that they used for them.
Right.
What's his name? Live in a van down by the river. Chris Farley plays him, but I forgot the name of the character, because they did a lot of sketches with that Matt Foley. It's a very basic bitch answer, but the original Matt Foley sketch with Chris Farley and Phil Hartman and David Spade, and I think Christina Ricci was the guest star that episode, being like, I heard you kids were doing drugs, van down by the river, and him jumping on the table and breaking it, which they did not know he was going to do, and their genuine will never not be funny to me. But I think of the modern sketches, there's this one sketch, and I think Larry David was the guest star. And it's a police academy doing target practice, being like, these are the people you're supposed to shoot and not supposed to shoot. So a cardboard cutout of an old lady comes up and it's like, don't shoot. Robber, don't shoot. And then there's just this guy being like, it's Larry David just being this really eccentric motherfucker, and no one knows if you're supposed to shoot him or not because he looks vaguely illegal. But he keeps saying weird shit. And I love that short because Pete Davidson keeps breaking down laughing, being like, did this dude just say that he wants a donut? And I just it's the short that a lot of people say is the prototype to David S. Pumpkins. And I fully believe it. And I fucking love the short. It's so stupid. But yeah, I mean, that or any of the Andy Samberg digital shorts where they're trying to pitch shorts to Lorne Michaels, and Lorne Michaels is just like,
Laser Cat,
Laser Cats is fucking great. All those digital shorts you watch and you're like, man, these really show the blueprints for what people find as funny.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that What You Say short got his audience reception back in the day, with the constantly everyone shooting each other, and What You Say just keeps looping.
Yeah.
But that is so late millennial, early Gen Z coded, and it's you were before your time, because this was 2007 or something, because I think it was a parody of the OC or something like that.
Yeah.
So and I don't know anyone who thinks of the OC casually now. I think the biggest memory is the What You Say parody short.
and how it also got developed a life of its own. And nowadays you just play what to say whenever somebody dies in a comedic setting.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like the short. It's like, no, that was the song they used in the OC.
Yes.
Oh, you love when memes overtake what the actual source material is. It's barely a parody. Yeah. I mean, most of there's a reason Clone High was just kind of a one-for-one parody of those types of shows. They were not self-aware. But yeah, thank you for that question. Huh?
Real quick, fun fact, because you said you love the Matt Foley sketch. That was written by Bob Odenkirk. Saul.
Really?
That sketch, yeah.
You know, that tracks so much. That is such a Saul-coded character.
My favorite sketch show of all time is Mr. Show with Bob and David.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. And it had Tom Kenny on it.
Oh yeah, I love Mr. Show. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite sketch show of all. The fact that like every sketch transitions into each other is so cool and everything.
Yeah. It's my second favorite sketch show. My first one's SCTV because I'm a.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
I mean, I'm it helps that Harold Ramis was one of the main actors on that show. But I mean, that's also the show that gives you Rick Moranis and John Candy and all these fucking like A-list people. It's like, it's not an SNL sketch, but one of my favorite bits that ever happened with that show is Harold is playing like how to do your own at-home dentistry, and you see that he just has a table full of things, and he's like, you got to numb yourself, so here's some whiskey, and he thought that it was not real whiskey, and he takes a drink of it, and you could see him look over at the camera because it is real whiskey, and him being like,
oh my god.
And so what he does next, while he's setting up all this stuff, is that he just keeps pouring himself glasses of whiskey, eyeing the camera person on the side, being like, you started this. And he's just like, well, if you do this, and he sticks like some chalk in like a cup of blue water, and it's like, as you can see, it's blue. It's so stupid, but I love the deadpan of it all.
No,
but
Harold
yeah, thank
Ramis
you for
is one
your...
of my... Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, Harold Ramis is one of your favorites too?
One of my favorite... He's one of my favorite writers, so...
I mean, you can tell that I'm a fan.
No, you and I are both big Egon fans, so...
He's the best one!
He is! Like spores, molds, and fungus.
Yeah, the written word is dead. We had half a Slinky. I straightened it. But, I mean, Max, I don't know if there was any, like, German sketch shows that you watched growing up or something.
Yes, but funny enough, I tried to look some of specific sketches up, but due to the small audience, I guess they didn't survive. I couldn't find any remnants of them, so maybe they only exist in my memory and are not even real.
I mean, I know that a lot of the ones that you told me about, like when you do reference things, a lot of it's just puns or wordplay when it comes to German sketches.
Not even sure, because there is barely any puns. Puns are a lot smaller.
Not puns. Tongue twisters, like very similar sounding words and sequence kind of thing.
That maybe, yeah. But yeah. I guess, not much from my end to contribute to this part. So let's move on to the first one on the Discords.
Okay. This one's from Not a Man Nor a Mouse. Says, time to raise some anxiety levels. Would you rather be a doctor on an airplane and have to save someone's life due to a medical emergency? And then in parentheses, it says, you're not a very good doctor. And in double parentheses, you're barely a nurse. Or give an hour-long speech in front of about 500 people naked, in parentheses, don't say stand behind the podium. There is no podium, and you have one of those goofy-ass Bluetooth headset microphones.
Oh my god.
Dave, you're up first. what's the speech about? Is my question.
What is the speech about?
Is it a speech about the body, or is it a completely unrelated subject?
It's your live action video essay on Kill la Kill.
Oh God, I would honestly, I'm pretty comfortable with public speaking, so I might do that just because there's no way the doctor thing. I just I'm gonna screw that up. So it's like.
Okay, so I mean that works, and you know what? People may listen to you for your confidence. What about you, Max?
Also, the speech. I said it years ago, and it's still true. I have no dignity, so I have nothing to lose on that stage, except for maybe getting a little bit of street cred back, having a big return from my has-been days by nudity. And I mean, I would assume since the premise is that you have to hold an entire speech naked, it's obviously some kind of setting where you don't immediately get dragged off stage and arrested for public nudity. So
yeah,
whatever it is about, whatever the context is, apparently you are not evil for doing it. It's just your own comfort level, and again, it's just nakedness. So while on the other
what
one,
would your what would your speech be about?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I mean, for those in the know and who have watched it, my live action video essay about Kill la Kill. But then again, it would be very topical since it actually is about clothing and the leg thereof.
So I'm a woman. Great start to a statement. People are going to be
So where are you going with this? Women can be doctors. I hope you know this.
Shut the fuck up.
My mother and my sister are doctors, so don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Be quiet. Speaking is a privilege, not a right.
My grandmother too.
Okay. But no, I was going to say I'm a woman. People are going to be automatically weirder if I gave a speech naked.
Okay, I was very worried that as a woman, people would be weirder if I would be a doctor.
No.
Good thing.
People would just automatically be weirder. The only plus side is that I guess I could just do a little shimmy to get people's attention if they start losing interest. It'd be like the fucking Markiplier thing of, so the back rooms jingle, jingle, jingle. Like jingling keys. These are the keys. But I would rather not. So I'm going to be a doctor, because here's the thing. If I save that person, I just speed ran my medical degree. I'm going to be a hero, and then people are going to be like, I want the plane girl to do my surgery, and I'll be rich, and I'll make so much money.
All right.
I somehow formatted this to be a gold digging answer, so I'm very happy. Yeah.
Well then.
And you know what? I can have two naked guys give me my commencement speech, being like, "Look at the person who just saved this person from a plane."
Yeah, we'll both just say next to you, congratulations to Dr. Airspace over here.
That could be my YouTube channel. I'll just name myself Dr. Airspace, and it's like, hey guys. I'll buy a plane and do all my surgeries in there. I'm sure someone would love that.
Sounds about right.
All right. So what do we have on the Twitter again?
Let's see what Fidel has for us this fine week. With the school year beginning soon, the question is for all those who have crossed the finish line already, which would be everybody, I assume.
Yeah.
What
to an
are
extent, yes.
some of your most embarrassing high school moments you look back to and cringe?
High school is so long ago, man.
Know, right?
It really is.
It's so long ago. I don't remember things.
I'm old enough to have my own hypothetical children being in high school now. So
I'm trying to think. the most embarrassing moment of my
What is high
or
school
things
again?
that I look. High school, you are from like
Grades?
13 to 17 when you graduate.
School
13 to
years?
18.
The age
Oh, school
varies,
year.
yes.
Oh, school years. Ninth grade to 12th grade. Like
Okay,
that.
okay. Oh no,
So,
oh no, oh god, I know my answer.
oh, I'm fascinated by such a visceral response. You have been ashamed of a lot more, less things than everyone here, and yet you did that? What happened?
I was at a boarding school,
Okay.
and I had a video camera. No, it doesn't go into that direction, don't worry. It was just cringe. It was just really cringe.
Oh,
I had
no.
I had a couple of
Okay,
friends
cringe.
with whom our hobby was to do weird things and record them. So,
Okay.
one that comes to mind, where funny enough, I was not the center of the video, and still I cringe more about my own actions in that video. It was like it was like what is Scooter again? Scooter is an German-based or Austrian-based techno group. I don't know. They
Yeah.
are like, how much is the fish?
Oh, this- Oh no,
This
did you
group.
do like a lip sync music video thing?
Not me. But my buddy did it. My buddy did it in this tiny dorm room. I believe I had the camera. That again, this was like, how big was this dorm room? Like a little bit more. 5 times 5 meters, so that would be
Okay.
30 times 30 feet.
A jail cell, okay.
Yeah, dorm room, no? Boarding school dorm room. And so yeah, camera on a tripod on the one end. He stands in front of the window on the other hand, and he has like a black leather coat, sunglasses, and is like doing super cringy wiggling around while I try to make it funnier and throw shit at him from off screen and shout stuff into it. And so while he was already pretty cringe in the video, I made it even more cringe. And then again, I recall, was this that video? I believe it was that video where there's an absolute highlight where at some point you just hear the door going, music still playing, he stares at one of the, not a teacher in a boarding school, what are they?
Oh, like the RAs, like the people who check
adults.
the dorm rooms? Yeah.
The adults who are actually in charge of us just stood
The
apparently,
chaperones, basically,
Yeah, chaperone, yeah.
yeah.
Basically a chaperone heard the music, came in, opened, looked at it, just closed the door again.
Oh, that's so bad. That's bad.
Yeah. What do you think where my reaction came from? Having this memory flood back into my mind. So yeah, try to
guess
top that. Good luck.
Mine's not gonna top it, but okay. So I spent my high school years in a very Bible Belt area of Indiana, and to get out of the house, I was part of a youth group. So like, you know, one of those like church volunteer groups. And every summer they would do like this Bible camp interactive thing, and I was an actor for those feeder group segments of it. Lord, I cannot tell you what happened in any of these sketches. And honestly, I was probably the best actor there, but that's a bar that's on the ground, so all you have to do is step over it. But yeah, I would count that as, if any of that was recorded, that would probably be cringe, because I didn't believe a word I was saying at that point, but it was kind of like, I need to get out of the house, and this they gave me free food, so it was like, you know, it's at what cost, you know? But you know, it's a thing of like being a cat, like an actor who has to wear one of those like fursuits at a theme park, and it's just like, dear Lord, help me. I do remember though, I played a villain for 1 year of that, and I got a note from my pastor who said, you need to tone down to your performance because you're scaring the kids. And I'm like, I thought that's supposed to be the point of this indoctrination.
many years later, at which is it again? Babs? Or wherever?
Yeah, Bab.
Where
At
you
BabsCon,
actually-
yeah, I play a villain. Yeah, so
where you are the villain mascot.
yeah, so
Came
it's
full
like
circle.
yeah. I just love the fact that I was too scary for Christianity. That's great. What about you, Dave? But I think you were the coolest kid in town. So like,
Oh, I grew up in southern Louisiana, so I was also very much in the Bible Belt. In fact, I swear this is absolutely true, and I can't make a joke out of this. So my high school was called Catholic High.
Catholic guy.
It was an all-boys school, and, drum roll, the mascot was the Bears. You can just write your own jokes there.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
so your argument is that just your entire high school experience was cringe. There were no highlights, it never dipped down, it just stayed up there.
I'm I'm just imagining. I feel like you know this. Do you know, Dave? Do you know a show called Gravedale High with Rick Moranis?
Oh my
Can-
god.
Can you
It was
imagine
the
that?
one
But,
person.
but Catholic High.
Catholic
Catholic
High.
High.
Coming to see Jesus dying to meet you, like that.
Yeah, just. I'm glad I've met the one other person who knows Gravedale High with Rick
I
Moranis.
have the intro cleaned up from a VHS tape that I
Really?
post sometimes. Yeah. Oh my god. That. So that I was also a band kid. I played saxophone all the way through high school.
Bass clarinet, baby.
Hell yeah, that's actually an awesome instrument, especially to march with. But oh god, I'm trying to think. The most embarrassing. Okay, I don't know if it's embarrassing, but just something that's so absurd that happened to me. Okay. So unbeknownst to myself at the time, there was a sort of school-wide accepted tradition in the cafeteria called the sandwich game. And purposely the freshmen didn't know this until you progressed and you learned. Basically what happened was anybody in the entire student body, if you had some kind of meal on the table that was anything between two slices of bread, be it peanut butter and jelly, turkey, a chicken sandwich, a burger, anything like that. If you did not place while it's resting, some kind of object, whether it be a napkin or a straw paper or something, on top of the bun, anybody could just have the forthwith to go and
like crush your
smash
sandwich.
your sandwich into oblivion. And this was a student-wide accepted thing.
Huh.
And I remember one day I had a grilled chicken sandwich. I just sit there and I'm like, oh, I forgot to get a ketchup packet. And I got up. I come back. I'm like, oh, and Mike is just pancaked to oblivion. and the guys around me are just like, no. The guys around me are just like, you should have put a napkin on top of it, man.
That is the weirdest form of hazing I could think of.
It wasn't even done just to the freshmen, like sophomores.
This is just
would do it to,
everyone.
Seniors, yeah, anybody who was just you didn't protect your sandwich.
That's. What do you think started it?
I would love to know the ground zero of this sandwich.
I need to know the history of this, because this feels like one of those things where it's like, oh, they believe that if they don't do this, fucking Char Gargothicon's gonna come up and eat everyone like a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
It's it's one of those things where it's like, are we 40 episodes into a season 7 Riverdale plot. Like, why do we need to crush these sandwiches?
Next time on Sandwich Smashers. Like
that is so weird.
Tony
Love
was
it.
foolish enough to bring his PB&J into the locker room. But what he doesn't know are the big boys are coming in to splat that baby all over the place. Like,
don't say big boy.
well, there you go. Not as much as an embarrassing story, more that, like, embarrassed for the school itself.
Yeah, it's a shared experience. All right, next one. Let's see. Fucking hell. All right, from Cosmic Knife. Ask Awkward, what's your literally me for real character from animation? So what is a character that you look at and you're like, God, they're me for real, for real?
Ooh.
I already got mine again. I want fire today.
You are, usually we have to solve for you.
Yeah, but no, because the comparison came up often enough, I just know. Mine would be Mermista from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Because I'm always like, when something goes like, like I actually, without intentionally imitating her, I started doing her growl whenever I got annoyed by something, to the point where their name is just like, yeah, we know it. Keep calm, Mister.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think. What about you, Dave?
I really don't know. I'm trying to think myself. Like, I'm trying to be, like, honest. Like, what character would be actually like you? Like,
God, this is harder than I thought it would be. Because here's the thing. There's part of my brain that's like, what's the character that is most of my positive traits, and what's the one that is, the whole package?
Right, exactly. Like, you gotta be honest to yourself. Who embodies it?
Max, what characters am I like? You've known me for a decade. Like, I'm trying to think. Maybe Judy, like Judy Hopps.
I just managed to answer a question for myself in record time, and now you cramp my style by asking me to give a second answer to the question.
I'm sorry that I thought that the person who's known me for a decade would know like, okay, I know of something that's Chrissy flavored.
You know what?
Now I'm doing the thing where I'm looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, I
already
started doing this too.
What about you, Dave?
You know what? I'm Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, I think that works.
I'm full of bugs.
I'm full of bugs. I think you also fit Ray from Ghostbusters, especially like your being knowledgeable of things. And
I appreciate that, because I almost said Slimer.
God damn! Don't.
So I'll take Ray though. I love Ray's actually fitting, because he's like, what I like about him is that he's sort of halfway between like Winston and Egon, where he's like, he's not as nowhere near like smart and nerdy as Egon. He still is kind of playful, but he is smart. So
he's got that golden boy, especially if you go into like real Ghostbusters Egon, like Frank Welker, not Egon, Ray, like
Ray,
real Ghostbusters Ray, you know, the Frank Welkery kind.
You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. But who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Who am I?
Who? God damn.
Who?
God.
So
why is this so hard?
So we are still looking for a cartoon character.
Yes, it's in animation. That's the only parameter they gave. God, I don't want to say a pony character. Because Starlight Glimmer's a lot like me. But I want to be like, is there something outside of that world?
You know what? Let's say this. Like, what's a certain like personality trait about yourself you're particularly proud of?
Ooh, I mean, like, I'm good word. Oh, you know what? Okay, Lois Lane from My Adventures with Superman, I think, is very me coded.
Okay,
I think like very overtly ambitious and like very like goal oriented, and they basically run in head first into things. I think that's those types of characters, like her and Luce and everything, very me for real. Especially when Luce in Owl House is just like, I want to do every track of magic. It's like, oh no, that's me.
Yeah.
Chronically in over my head.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. We went on that walk together.
Huzzah, and we came out better people at the end.
Is there anything left on the Twitter, or should we do the...
on Twitter.
Okay, because there's only one thing left on Discord.
Well then, J-Rock asks, another would you rather in tradition.
Okay.
For the rest of your life, choose the same drink and the same meal to ingest every time you eat, or have someone else always choose what you eat.
Ooh. Actually, this is kind of an easy one for me. It would probably be the second one, because I mean, I can survive eating the same thing every day, but also
can you call it living?
Even if like the person was an asshole and they were constantly like, oh, today you're gonna eat chocolate covered crickets, I'm like, well, at least I didn't eat that the last
50 times.
Yeah, it's gonna be plus you also might try things that you never would have thought to try and find out you like it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it would be especially bad if this thing had the parameter of the last thing you ate is the thing that you have to always eat in perpetuity. Because imagine, like, I mean, depending on the time zone, like, I had a peanut butter and jelly Uncrustable before this. If that was the only thing I was allowed to eat the rest of my life,
I guess the rest of your life would not be very long.
I was gonna say, no. I had a freaking like one of those like organic pepperoni beef jerky sticks. You know what I'm talking about?
God. Only
I have one of those. Yeah.
Oh no!
What did you have to? Yeah, you just have carrots.
I was about to say I had a pretty good dinner, but I had a carrot after. No.
So
you could have the best eyesight on the planet, though.
Yeah. Or it would be like flamingos with why their feathers are pink and you just start turning orange. But like, also, the last thing you drank, both of the last things I drink are so heavy in caffeine. I'm gonna die of a heart attack. Like, because I just had a venti, like 4 shots of espresso coffee, and this is a Ghostbusters branded pre-workout beverage. I would die.
Hold on, you gotta send me the link to that though, because I'm curious.
Oh yeah, it's called Proton Plasma.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they also have a Slimer flavored one too.
Okay, see, I'm gonna have to get that because I've actually been going and doing weight training at the gym recently, and
hell yeah,
if I can get Ghostbusters protein, yeah, that sounds.
They also have Ghostbusters protein powder that's marshmallow flavored. They have the little mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Men on it.
Oh
I have
God,
it in my kitchen. Yeah. But yeah, so you would have someone else pick your food for you. What about you, Max? Would you? And this does not have the parameter of it's the last thing you ate.
I know.
You get to pick what is your perpetuity meal.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Especially if you're living with somebody, that will probably be the person who keeps picking for you most of the time. And I mean, you should better not piss that person off then, because they could abuse
that was exactly
power.
My thought. I was like, So now we know the one person in my, because here's the thing, I don't imagine it's the person I live with or like any of that. I want to imagine it's just like, no one would pick up on this reference unless you watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That episode where Shake accidentally kills the guy and there's the angel played by Paul F. Tompkins telling him what to do, or else he drags him into hell. Like, I imagine it's like that. There is just a fucking unfriendly ghost who's like, you're eating this today. And it's like, I can never make this thing mad. Because if I do, I'm eating dirt. Like... So I'm just kind of like, I think I'm going to... Oh,
hello there, Dave Wardrobe.
Hello, closet.
I hit my...
Dave, come out of the closet. It's fine. We are pretty understanding here on the AWKWARDCast.
But yes, I think I'm going to go with... I think I will go with the perpetuity meal. Because here's the thing, and this is, I know this is weird because
You don't trust people around you, understandable.
Of course I don't! Because the fucking spinner wheel that the gods will decide, either it's going to land on someone I don't know, and I have to learn their whole shebang.
My favorite dish is a mushroom crawfish salad, and I want to share it with you, person that I picked.
It's not even that. It's just the thing of I'm gonna have to learn how to kiss ass of either someone I don't know, or I'm gonna learn how to kiss ass of someone I do. And I don't want to give anyone that I know that power. Imagine if Max became the person who has to decide what I eat. Do I trust him?
Here's the thing, though. There is one ramification to this that it might help you. You would think, if this is happening for the rest of your life, right? Eventually this person that you have been like stuck with to choose your meals, maybe for a while at first they're like, hey, I'm gonna like, fuck with them. They're gonna, once they know that you have to do this for life, it's gonna become routine. They're gonna become bored. They're just gonna be like, I don't know, grab a burger or something. I don't care. Like they're not going to care anymore. Like,
okay, wait now. Drinking beer for the rest of the time, or have someone else. It doesn't specify that it's the same person, so it could just be that whenever you are getting hungry and you don't have your dedicated food picker with you, like, oh no.
The spinner wheel is real. It'll just decide a new person each time. That's awful.
I mean, it starts easy enough. You will just get used to going into nicer restaurants, because then you can be like, to the waiter, what would you recommend? And bam, problem solved. But it has the risk.
It sounds like a dietary version of the movie Yes Man, that like one Jim Carrey movie where he has to say yes to everything people tell him.
It is. However, the one real danger about it is you are basically doomed to go with any upselling any waiter will ever do to you. On the upside,
they're going to be like, here, have the porterhouse tomahawk steak that we like imported from the best beef farm in Japan.
How about a dessert? Today's recommendation is the triple-decker tiramisu.
You can never go to Vegas. You can never go to Vegas. Like, you walk into Caesar's Palace and be like, what do you recommend? It's like, do you want our $400 buffet?
Yes, please.
Do you take cash traveler's check?
Why did my buddy stay in the hotel with a stomach ache? He was supposed to pick my food for me.
No. Okay, but yeah, so I'm gonna go with perpetuity meal because I like the control. You know what? You know what? I could pick if I could pick anything, I could be like, okay, I will have. I'm not going to pick my favorite food. I would pick my second favorite food because I never want to get sick of my favorite food. And hopefully when I die and cross the pearly gates, then my favorite food will be there and I will still like it and it doesn't become hell.
Yeah.
Exactly. But thank you for the question. And now we have our final one, which is our traditional FMK. From Never a Nobody. Having a good and stable mind is a great thing for most people.
Oh no, where's this going?
But these folks have long since boarded the loony train, and however you three make up your minds about these individuals is gonna be quite the mental gymnastics for all of us in fuck, marry, killed, funny, and freakishly fucked. Wow, there's so many F words there. Screw you.
Alliteration. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the Joker from Batman.
Okay.
Deadpool from Marvel. And you misspelt his name, Alistair from the Funny Red Show. If I were you, I'd probably have some form of therapy on speed dial. Okay, here's my thing. I would not count Alistair as freakishly fucked. He's not like mentally unwell. He's just evil. Like that's not the same. That's not the same as the two mental illness patients that we have here.
Even in the Vivziverse, I would say they're probably more crazy characters.
Most certainly. So I'm gonna replace the last character. I'm gonna replace the last character with trying to think of someone who is a little bit cuckoo. Someone who's cuckoo bananas.
The cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs bird.
I had the same thought, basically.
I'm trying. No. I hold on. I will think of one. The Mask.
That's okay. Okay.
So we have Joker, Deadpool, and the Mask.
So here's the one thing about the Mask, though, is it specifically only when the character has it on? Because if he doesn't,
only when the character has it on.
Okay.
You don't get normal Jim Carrey.
All right, this is how I would probably play this.
Okay.
I think I would kill the Joker because it's just give Batman a break.
Not because he kills people left and right. No, to give Batman a break.
Yeah. I think I would marry the Mask because he's a good dancer. And I think I'd fuck Deadpool because even if his face looks like, a butthole, it is still Ryan Reynolds.
It is.
And that man is attractive. So
yeah, that is true.
Also, he's funny. Like, he actually... The thing is that, like, the Mask is just, like, wacky, like, smoking. It's like, okay. And then, like, the Joker's like, you want to hear a joke that'll... Oh, God, that was a bad voice. The Joker's like, you want to hear a joke that'll kill you? And it's like, no, not really. At least
the
Deadpool...
Joker seems like the type to put a gun to your head while you have sex, and I don't know if I'm in for that life.
Yeah, no, at least Deadpool, that seems like it would be a fun time, so I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, I went last time, so this is...
Oh, wow.
Yay! Okay, so we had fucking Deadpool marrying Mask and killing Joker. So, I'm gonna fuck the Mask, cause there has to be some kind of amazing Looney Tunes bullshit that happens in the bedroom there.
And he pulls out a
My
big
only
hammer.
caveat is that I'm gonna have to figure out what kind of, like, either I am getting scooped clean beforehand, so there's no chance of pregnancy, because I'm not having a Son of the Mask Jamie Kennedy baby.
Oh, that's a fucking... That should have been the ramification there. That movie.
Yeah, but so having sterile sex with the Mask. I am going to marry the Joker because at that point, like, there's a whole crime empire there. And this is also just for my own security. Because, if the Joker actually is like, will settle down with me, settle down, and makes a crime lord syndicate, I'm thinking of the Harley Quinn Joker, where he actually does have a family and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I could be the Bethany in this situation.
Okay.
Can't believe I remember the only good parts of the Harley Quinn show.
I didn't even remember that she had a name.
I like her. She's a good character. But, like, so I'm going to do
probably even
that.
show original, isn't she?
Yes. But, like, I'll be that because, man, he has a lot of money. We saw what he had to give to the IRS.
That's true.
And I'm going to kill Deadpool. I don't know how the hell I'm going to kill Deadpool.
Well, technically you can't kill... Isn't there a problem with this prompt where you can't kill Deadpool? He's immortal.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna chop up Deadpool and do what they did with the Iron Giant and just have all of his pieces spread around. So eventually they have to converge with each other, and that'll just take a long enough time for me to hightail, change my name, and dye my hair.
Just keep his head in your fridge or something, so when you open it up...
what, like the medic does with that one spy? Just kill him later.
Yeah. So like every time
then
you
I get
open
Ryan
up...
Reynolds' head in a fridge, and that would be funny.
Yeah, you go in for the fridge for a snack, and every time you get a little funny little anecdote. So
yeah, there we go.
Whatever
I got a
counts
new
as killing nowadays.
It's the closest thing to the man who can literally respawn his legs with little baby legs, like know. So that is my choices. Max, you got a great creme de la creme here, don't you?
I'm not even angry about this lineup. No, I think I got a pretty good one there.
Okay.
Killing the Mask, because I'm pretty sure at this point Jim Carrey he has developed so much as an actor and is in the roles he takes. Now, with Robotnik, he actually came a little bit back to his silly roots, but with a little bit more subtlety to it. He is... Yeah, but he is not a goofy, like, over-the-top Ace Ventura.
You say that, but Sonic 2, he literally puts puts a quill to his lips and goes crazy with chaos control. So I don't know if I would say that.
Yeah, still, but here we see he has complete chaos control, and I would still say that complete chaos Robotnik is still a little bit more subdued, a little bit more matured than the Mask. So I just want to allow Jim Carrey to leave this past behind and embellish his new zaniness by officially killing the Mask. So
here's my question: would you then have the Mask? So, like, would you now be the owner of the Mask, or is the Mask also destroyed in this situation?
It's more of a cosmic erasure. I take the Mask out of existence. So the character, the object, the person he plays, so that Jim Carrey is free and can develop his new legacy.
This is just the plot of Deadpool and Wolverine.
I like how Max and our killings are both mercy killings for someone else. Like, he's trying to save Jim Carrey, and I'm like, I'm doing this for Batman, so he can have a break.
I'm doing this so I have a funny fridge man. Like,
yeah, there you go.
Talking about the funny fridge man, I am so going to marry the hell out of Deadpool. I mean, we know he's a lover. He's not a hater. He is a very dedicated person. I mean, he has his midlife crisis, which is kind of the catalyst behind the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. No spoilers, but at the end of the day, he is a very loyal one, and again, funny. No? If I am stuck with that person, I want to have them be charming and funny, and also have a freaking gin empire. Which,
and Paul will be like coming over to your houses for game nights, and everyone loves Paul. Or no, Peter.
Peter will come over.
Yeah. It's another P name.
And I mean, Hugh Jackman Wolverine is one of his best butts as well. So that is some other dude who comes over for board game night. You get fucking
Colossus coming over to your house every weekend.
Board game night, guys. Board game night. They are all fucking nerds. They are on board with that. So that is a
so
yeah. I mean, the last one is also pretty straightforward, pretty easy answer. If I get to bang the Joker, I also get Harley Quinn in there.
No, you you don't. No, you don't. This is not fair. No, you do not. Sunlight.
Oh,
this
you
does
have
not
done
come-
that. Haven't you just last time got be like, hey, and if I sleep with that person, I also get them as a plus. I'm pretty sure you did this. If not
It's
just
different
the other
when
way.
it's me. I'm delightful,
I see,
and you're you.
I see.
That's
Yeah,
not
There's
fair
also
when you get
implying-
Harley Quinn.
those
There's also-
kind.
This is
Dave.
implying the Joker is a cuck.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing. Knowing the Joker, he would make Harley watch. Like, that's not...
Still, I could work with
Yeah.
that. I could work with that.
That's awkward.
Ayn Wye and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward cast. Hard work and analysis, which you do